The desert wind moved like a living thing, dry, ancient, whispering across the endless sands of Egypt. For the first time in his life, Alexander felt a land older than all the Greek stories, older than Persia, older even than the legends his mother used to whisper to him as a child. Egypt was not just another conquest, it was a doorway to myth. When Alexander entered Egypt in 332 BC, he expected resistance. After all, the pharaohs had ruled here for centuries, and the Persian Empire had held Egypt with an iron grip. But something strange happened. The Egyptians didn't fight him, they welcomed him. They opened their gates, laid flowers before his feet, and called him what no foreigner had been called for hundreds of years: Deliverer, son of Amun, the rightful pharaoh. Alexander, for the first time, felt as if destiny had stepped ahead of him and prepared the road. Egypt wasn't a battlefield, it was a coronation. The Persian satrap Macedonia simply handed over the treasury and surrendered without a fight. That moment alone proved something. Persia was bleeding from the inside, broken after centuries of corruption. Alexander wasn't breaking an empire. He was simply pushing over a rotten pillar. But Egypt was alive. Its temples whispered with the voices of thousands of years. Its priests muttered ancient prophecies that no Macedonian had ever heard. Its people believed in gods that walked among men. And Alexander walked into that belief like a flame touching dry grass. He moved first to Memphis, the old capital along the Nile, a city filled with towering statues, sphinxes, and the heavy scent of incense. The priests of Ptah came forward in long robes, bowing deeply. They declared Alexander the new pharaoh of Egypt, a divine son, chosen by the gods themselves. Was it politics? Was it genuine prophecy? Or was it simply the Egyptians' hatred for Persia? No one could truly say. But Alexander accepted the crown with a calm face and a burning mind, because in that moment he realized something powerful. If the people believed he was a god, then the world itself would bend to his will. Freshly crowned, he turned toward a dream he had never spoken aloud. He rode north along the coastline, searching for a place that would become his legacy. After days of surveying the coastline, he stood on a narrow strip of land between the sea and the marshes and pointed forward. "This will be the greatest city in the world," he said quietly. His generals looked confused. The place was empty, desolate, windswept. But Alexander saw something else. He saw eternity. He took his spear, walked across the sand, and drew the first outline of what would become the legendary city of Alexandria. Streets like a grid, a great harbor, a lighthouse that would one day become one of the 7 wonders of the world, a library that would hold the entire knowledge of mankind. Imagine the scene: no buildings, no walls, just a young king scratching the sand as seagulls circled above. Yet in that moment, the future stood behind him like a shadow. Alexandria was not just a city, it was a statement. A declaration that the Greek world, the Egyptian world, and the Persian world would merge into something greater. The world would not forget him. But the most mysterious chapter came next. Alexander's heart pulled him deeper into the desert, toward a place feared by soldiers, worshipped by priests, and whispered about by travelers, the Siwa oasis. There, hidden beyond deadly sands, stood the Oracle of Amun, the Egyptian god whom the Greeks equated with Zeus. Legends said that great kings came here to learn the truth of their birth and destiny. Some returned as immortals, others never returned at all. Alexander wanted answers. He left the comfortable Nile Valley and marched with a small group of loyal companions into the blazing furnace of the desert. For days they wandered under a brutal sun. Sandstorms swallowed the horizon. Men collapsed, horses died, paths vanished. Some accounts say the soldiers saw strange things, shifting lights in the night, echoes that weren't theirs, a guiding pair of ravens that appeared out of nowhere. Truth or myth, no one knows, but what matters is that they reached Siwa. The oasis appeared like a miracle, green palms, clear water, and the temple of Amun rising from the heart of the desert like something carved out of time itself. The air was different there, silent, heavy, sacred. Alexander walked into the temple alone. What happened inside is one of the most guarded secrets in history. Only the priests knew. Only Alexander knew. And none of them ever repeated the oracle's exact words. When he emerged, his face was pale. His eyes were glowing, not with fear, but with certainty. Someone asked him, "What did the oracle say to you?" Alexander responded only, "My father is not Philip. My father is Amun." Some say the oracle called him the Son of God. Some say the oracle confirmed that the entire world would fall under his rule. Others say the oracle whispered a darker prophecy, one about the manner of his death. Alexander told no one the full truth. He carried it with him forever. But from that day on, he believed he was not just a king. He believed he was chosen. After Siwa, Alexander returned to the Nile with a calmness that frightened even his generals. He had changed. He had walked into the desert as a human, but he came back as something else. He spent the next weeks organizing Egypt with a sense of purpose, rebuilding temples, respecting local traditions, setting up Greek colonies, and securing the land for his empire. Everyone who met him felt something shifting in the air, as if time itself was rearranging around him. Meanwhile, the Persian king Darius was begging for peace. Letters arrived, offering ransom, land, even marriage alliances. But Alexander refused every offer. Why? Because the oracle had shown him a vision far greater than peace. He wanted Persia. He wanted Babylon. He wanted the ends of the earth. Egypt had given him what no battlefield ever could, a crown of legitimacy, a divine identity, a destiny. And so in 331 BC, Alexander stood at the edge of the Nile, watching the sun sink behind the desert dunes. His soldiers stood behind him, silent, waiting for their king to speak. Alexander looked toward the east, the direction of Persia. His voice was quiet, but sharp as steel. "The gods have shown me the path. Now we take the world."